And let's begin.
We're going to go with opening statements, and each candidate was chosen out of the draw, so we'll start with Jared first, and we'll end with Mr. Button. At the completion, Mr. Button, of your opening statement, we'll then read a statement per your agreement that Mr. Hake sent over in his absence. Mr. Overfield, what's your opening statement for tonight?
Well, my opening statement is I'm running on bringing more jobs to Corona, because I know in this day, in this economy, jobs are hard to find right now. So this is the reason why one of the reasons why I am running for the Corona City Council, to help bring more jobs to our city so we don't have to drive all the way down to Orange County.
Mr. Haley, opening statement.
Thank you, and thank you for everyone taking time out to join us this evening. Rather than talking about me, I'd like to take a second to discuss what we need as a city. I believe that we need a person who has proven experience, a person who can bring a business approach to the business of running a city, a person who will dedicate his full time to the city, a person who will not be burdened with conflicts of interest, a person with a clear-cut vision for the city of Corona, a person with the ability to work with city staff, and most importantly, a person we can trust. I'm that person. That trust was given to me by the Corona Police Officers Association, and tonight I'm asking for your vote again. Thank you.
Mr. Button.
Well, first I want to start off by thanking the Citizens for Corona for having this debate. I'm a high school teacher. I teach AP Government and Politics, and I think it's very important to understand that what our Founding Fathers have given us is that opportunity to be a voice in government, to make a consent and to give our consent for government. And the reason I'm running is to work on that vision for the city of Corona. What I'd like to do is to ensure that we maintain and create a strong business atmosphere here in the city of Corona, to ensure that we see business grow, to make sure our small businesses are growing, and to ensure that we are aggressively going after new businesses, to bring in new technology businesses. Once we build up our business atmosphere, we are going to be able to have a strong revenue stream where we can work on community. We can build up that quality of life. We can work on our parks. We can work on community centers. We can work on activities for seniors. That quality of life is very important for our city to grow and expand. And along with that quality of life, I think it's very important that we maintain and continue to build strong public safety. Not only just public safety with fire or police, but we need to maintain that public safety with the Department of Water and for Public Works as well, because streets and clean water are just as important as anything else in our city that we need to maintain. So I look forward to developing that vision and working with you, the citizens, to build that democratic endeavor to build our city and make a stronger city.
Thank you. We're ready for the first question. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. As promised, we have a statement that was emailed from Aaron Hake.
This is Aaron's statement. Thank you to the Citizens for Corona for providing this opportunity for the public to engage the council candidates in an open and interactive setting. I am so sorry that I'm not able to participate in this important event, as I am at the hospital with my wife for the arrival of our son. As a lifelong Corona resident and now a parent, I am truly invested in the future of our city. We need leaders that not only cherish our past but embrace our future. We need leadership that understands the dynamics of our growing community and can relate to the expectations of our residents. I believe I have the skills necessary to help lead our city in the right direction. I will keep the residents actively engaged and encourage transparency at City Hall. I will work to maintain fiscal conservatism while maintaining levels of public safety and community services that our citizens rightfully expect and deserve. I will be accountable and available to you as a concerned citizen. Thank you again to the Citizens for Corona for hosting this event, and thank you to those in the audience tonight for taking the time out of your lives to attend tonight's forum. I would certainly be grateful and appreciative of your vote on November 6th. Aaron Hake.
All right, now let's do some questions. Mr. Haley, we'll go with you first.
Thank you.
Often one runs for office to do better. What do you see out of the current council that you can help them do better?
The council that we have now is doing a good job. I think what we have is a tenor of the candidates. No one is saying we've got to replace them. They're doing a good job. The city of Corona is doing a very good job. There is one opening. I would like to take that opening to be more active with the citizens of Corona, to be more transparent, to let people know exactly what's going on in the city. As your treasurer, I was instrumental in saving $4 million of your tax dollars, and I'm very proud of that. We increased these city assets even through this horrible recession that we're in. What I would like to do is I would like to take my fiscal conservative attitude with the city and bring it forward. I know most of the people here in this room, and all of you know who know me, that I am not a shy guy at all. And what I wanted to fully is to engage more citizens to become more involved, like Citizens for Corona. I want to make this a better place for my children and now my grandchildren.
Mr. Button?
Our current city council has done a fine job to build our city and to make it a strong city. We have a balanced budget, and I look forward to filling this open seat and to working with the current city council to continue this process. I would like to take what I've learned in the Parks and Recreations Commission and bring that and to continue working with the city council in building and maintaining our parks, building and bringing new events to our city that will bring revenue to our city. One of the activities that we're just now starting to daylight with the Parks Foundation is working on bringing some handicapped equipment into our parks. I'd like to continue working with the current city council and maintain and work on that direction to bring a better quality of life for that section of our city. I also like to maintain and work with the current city council to ensure that we're developing and building new sports fields. I know that we're looking and discussing new areas over by Prado Dam with the Army Corps of Engineers. I'd like to continue working on that project and help it go forward.
Mr. Overfield, just to recap, what would you like to help this current council do better?
How I would like to help the current council is, one is, I say I'm running on getting businesses coming to Corona, and that is, you know, helping get business license a little bit lower. Also looking at zoning laws, making them a little more friendly to business. Two, I know it'll be a little while, but getting that community center up and running one day at the old police station off 6th Street.
Okay, we'll start with Kevin. No single council member can affect change at City Hall. It takes 3 votes for a council measure to be approved. What in your past demonstrates that you can build consensus and convince others to follow your lead on important issues?
Well, you know, I want to go back to what we were working on with the Parks Foundation. It started as a suggestion for swings for handicapped children, and I've worked now in concert with different people, talking with Jim Steiner from the fire department, talking with citizens from the city to build a coalition, working with the General Employees Union to bring suggestions, and it's slowly starting to move forward to where we can work together to have community input on a direction for handicapped equipment in our parks, and you know, working also as in the schools. We've worked over at Norco High School to build a new foundation so that we can raise money to help supplement the budget at our Norco High School. And I've been able to work and develop and bring teachers together to sit on that board, and we've now got our 501c3 status filled. Now we're working to raise money so that we can pay for teachers to send kids on field trips, and we can buy books, and we can help with technology that teachers might use in the classroom. So I've actually worked with many different groups in the city and with the school district to help build coalitions to get things completed.
Mr. Overfield?
Yeah, well, the way I would like to help get important issue, because I'm on the church leadership board. 2, I work in department management, and sometimes we have to work together to get a decision going. And 3, I've been at one time in the past on the Black Belt Council for karate, and we voted too, and it took about 3 to get an issue passed. So The way I do is just show them why that issue is very important, and once it happens, we will vote on it.
Mr. Haley.
Thank you. Since I've been the city treasurer here in Corona, I've been asked by Assemblyman, former Mayor Jeff Miller, to chair the Mayor's Task Force on Aviation Safety. A few years ago, we had a horrible fatal accident, and there were a lot of people in Corona who were thinking that we had an unsafe airport. I and a number of other community leaders got together, and we brought together people from pilots, community people who lived around the airport like myself, people from the FAA, and we brought them all together to figure out whether we had a safe airport environment or it was just a tragic accident. The first meeting that we had, it was almost like a freshman dance because all the pilots were sitting here and all the citizens were sitting, and it was horrible. At the last meeting, it was wonderful because we had all come together and everyone had brought their own input. The committee that we had was wonderful, and we brought everyone together. It took about 8 meetings to come to a conclusion that we did have a safe airport. A couple of years ago, when she was mayor, Karen Spiegel asked me to be the chairman for the Veterans Memorial Committee. And I had to bring soldiers, sailors, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, and Air Force people together in one room without any fistfights to come to a consensus of what we were going to do. We did that. We did it very, very well. I was been able to bring people together. Well, I was in the Marines myself. I was 21 years old and I was a crew chief. I had 7 people working for me at 21 years old. I was a leader then, leader ever since. I'm a leader now. When it comes to working with people on the city council, what we just have to do is work together. I've got a proven track record.
Mr. Haley, how would you like your service as a council member to be remembered? By what measurement will you view your service as a success?
I want to be remembered as a fair, wisdom-filled, accessible councilman. On all of my brochures and all of my campaign literature is my telephone number. And I promise everyone here and everyone who can hear this at one point or another that when you have my phone number, I will answer that phone. It rings right here. Might not get the call at 3 o'clock in the morning, might have to wait till later, but I will return your call. Because I can do this full time, because I am a retired person and I don't have other jobs to go to, I'll be able to put 100% of effort into my role as a city council person. I've often been fair. I'm always fair. I'm always fair. Refereed soccer for 18 years, always fair. I'm always trustable. Many of you know me. Many of you know me because we're friends, business acquaintances, city treasurer. And I've never, ever, ever violated that trust that I have with anyone in this room, period. That's how I want to be remembered. I want to remember the guy that you can go to hopefully discuss a problem. Or hopefully, even better than that, say, hey Dick, had an idea. How about if we do this? Because quite frankly, in my walking around the city, I found out that we've got some citizens in this city that are absolutely brilliant. I talked to a young girl a few days ago who said, why don't we have more basketball courts up at one particular park? It would keep the kids in the neighborhood in the basketball court instead of hanging out in the street. That's how old she was, 14. We need to have people like that. But we also have to have a city council who's accessible, where you can pick up the phone and know that you're going to get a return call.
You know, it's important to be accessible, and I open myself up to be completely accessible as well. And I'd like to be able to be remembered as someone that the citizens of Corona could look at and come to and discuss issues. But I think one thing I'd really like to be remembered for my term on City Council is that's somebody can look and say, Kevin Button was somebody that went out and accomplished what he talked about during his campaign. Kevin Button went out and he worked towards a community center. And there's one going to be built in the near future. Or there's funds being raised that are going to go forward and build that community center. Or it got built. Okay? Or Kevin Button went through and he got a plan designed to help redevelop 6th Street. He brought together groups and he brought together a coalition that was going to get that started and get that finished. In the near future, it will be going forward. So I'd like to remember the fact that, hey, this is what he said during his campaign, and this is what he did while he was on City Council, and they both equal out. They both are the same.
For myself, I want to be remembered as a man that you can come and talk to. If you have an idea, you can come and talk to me. I will listen to what you have to say. I may not always make the idea happen, but I'm the guy that will listen to you. Also, that I'm a man of my word. If I said I'm going to do something, I will do something. That if I'm saying I'm going to bring jobs to Corona, I'm going to make a job come to Corona. If I have to talk to a big business across somewhere else and ask them, hey, move to Corona, you know, I will do that. I will make it happen. I will talk to many businesses possible to make it happen for people. I'm a man of my word. I will keep my promises. If I can't make a promise, guess what? I'm not going to make a promise. If I say, well, I don't know if I can make that promise, I'm not going to make a promise. So I want you to all remember, I'm a man of my word. When I can't make a promise, you know I'm not going to make a promise, because I'll never make a promise that I cannot keep. I'm a man that will listen to whatever you have to say. I may agree with you, I may not agree with you, but one thing you will know, I listen to what you have to say. You can email me, you can call me, you know, wherever you can come and walk to me off the street, talk to me when I'm in a shopping center. I'm always available for you, the people, because I'm here to serve you, the voter. I want to be remembered as a servant of the people.
Mr. Overfield, once elected, you will likely have an opportunity during your term to serve as the city's mayor for a year. So, can we learn more about you at this time? What would be your priority as mayor? And what would the city get from your leadership?
Yes, as mayor, one of the most important things is being a team player, you know, working with the other council people, not, you know, dictating how things should run, but working with them, find out, you know, ideas from the other council people. That's one of the things as mayor, you know, I want to do, is work with the council, not against them, but with them, and also work for the people, to serve them as a mayor that you could come to talk to, a mayor that you can trust, a mayor that is there for you.
When I become the mayor, I will know that our #1 priority of public safety is taken care of, because it will be, period. The #2 priority that we have to end in Corona is quality of life. What I would like to do is I would like to tap into the resources we have. Now, I'm 66 years old, and I'm as active now as I was when I was 40. Since I've been out walking precincts and talking to people, I'm finding out there's an awful lot of people out there who are over 60 years old and are retired. And they have a plethora of knowledge, and they're too darn young to retire. What I would like to do is I would like to start an organization very much like SCORE and bring in people who are retired to mentor young businesses, to help teach business schools and to teach in the local schools. Because these are the people like myself who started their own business from scratch, work 7 days a week, know what it's like to get your nose bloodied, and we'd like to be able to share. Because we know that if you're active, you're going to stay moving. That would come under the purview of Parks and Rec. Because along with that, we also have to have the youth activities. We have to have recreation. People think of recreation as just kids, just soccer and things like that. It's not. It's not. It's the 4th of July. tell me we don't have the best party in the world, don't we? I'll tell you, we sure do, and it's free. That's what I want to do, is I want to make this, again, that place that people want to move to. That's my vision. I want to have activities for Alexander. I want to have activities for people who just retired from the school district. I want to have activities for people in between.
Mr. Button?
As mayor, I want to continue that work on collaboration. I want to work with the council that's there at that time, and I want to work with them to develop the goals of the city. Again, it's important to listen to the community. What does the community want? Where does the community want to see things go? I think that's really important. We get that feedback. Now, as I've stated before, there are many different things that I would like to see move forward in the city of Corona, and one of those things is a community center for our youth. And so as mayor, I'd like to continue to work for that direction. If we don't have the city funds to go forward, I'd like to go out and find those city funds. I've mentioned the capital campaign account. You know, we've got churches around town that are able to raise millions of dollars for their churches. Why can't we go forward as a community and have a capital campaign account to raise money for a youth center? I'd like to go forward and communicate with people regionally on how we can help develop our inner city, our 6th Street area. And those are the projects that I'm putting out there that I've heard people say they'd like to see done. And as mayor, I'd like to take the leadership, collaborate with our current city council, and collaborate with leaders regionally to get those things finished.
Thank you.
All right, we are up to our final question. I do want to state...
Wait, Jeff, we are going to have surprise questions after.
Oh, okay, good. Well then, this is the final known question. And then the surprise question will come.
Surprise question?
Yes, it's a surprise to me too.
No, it's not.
Let's go with this, and we'll start with Mr. Haley.
Yes.
How do you prioritize the annexation of the community of El Cerrito? Who is the party seeking it? Do you favor or oppose its inclusion in our city government?
I have spoken to this publicly. I'm the city treasurer. I know about money. I have been told that if we were to annex the area south of here, it's going to be a wash as far as money is concerned. That is, that the tax revenue coming in will equal the services going out. And that's just dandy. Has you ever taken a trip and you wanted to drive from here to San Francisco and you know you're going to be there in so many hours and something goes squirrely? Well, if something goes squirrely with this annexation, we cannot increase the tax revenue coming in, but we can increase the liability going out. If we have a problem, it's going to cost the citizens of Corona more money, and we have no way to recoup that money. Annexation might be a good idea, but today, like I said earlier, we're right on the edge. And it's not my money. When I was the city treasurer, I often said, it's not my money, it belongs to you, Jeff, and it belongs to you, Bill, it belongs to you, Mike. It's your money. I'm a steward, and I'm going to be a steward when I become the city councilman. And I can't fool around with your money because it's not mine, it's yours. So if annexation is a good idea today, it will be a good idea in a year or 2 or 3. I say let's get our house in order. Let's, again, with the heck with this fresh idea stuff, let's stay with the tried and true. Let's make sure we've got enough money. Let's make sure we can improve on it, we can improve it, and then when we can, let's move forward. Today, I think annexation may not be the best idea.
Boy, your answer would have had to been really short.
When it comes to annexation, well, right now on our plate is the Temescal Valley annexation, and it has a bit of a risk to it. It has a bit of a risk. If there's any kind of a complication or any kind of a emergency situation that happens in that area, we're going to have to deal with that. But I think that we're going to be able to pull it off as a city. I think working together we can pull that off. But it's not up to me. It's up to the citizens of Temescal Valley if they want to vote on that. And I think you mentioned El Cerrito. If the citizens of El Cerrito wish to vote on annexation into the city of Corona, that's up to them. This whole theme of this forum tonight was democracy. And democracy dictates that the people have a choice. The people give their consent to the city government to do what is supposed to be done. And so moving forward with the annexation of Temescal Valley, I think would be a positive for the city. I think that it would bring in new revenues for the city, and we could have more of a say on what goes down on that 15 corridor versus what the county wants to do. But as far as El Cerrito, that hasn't even, it's been brought up several times, and the people have stated that they don't want to be incorporated in the city of Corona. So I don't see where we need to go forward with that.
Well, as I said before, and it's in the newspaper, if the people are for, I am for. If they're against it, I'm against it, because I don't want to force my will on those people. Of course, they do get a say-so, because they get to vote on it. Some of them are not for it that I already, talked to. But, I mean, I can see the revenue that can increase if we do get, like south of Corona, where we have Tom Farm as an example, that bring a lot of business, a lot of revenue. It would bring revenue to Corona. I mean, it would be great. But again, some of the people that do live in that area are not really for it. Maybe it's not for this time. Maybe it's for later. But the people will get to vote on it in November 6th. So it'll be really up to them if they become part of Corona or they do not become part of Corona.
Thank you. Before you give your closing statements, we have listened to your answers and your opinions tonight, and we have some serious questions here that will reveal the true character of our candidates. Mr. Overfield, what was your favorite childhood pet?
My favorite childhood pet, I would say it would be my dog.
And what was his name?
Angus.
All right. These are character building questions. Mr. Haley.
Yes, ma'am.
In your long experience, what is your favorite movie?
D.I. The D.I., Jack Webb. Because that was the story of the United States Marine Corps in 1956.
I thought these would be brief answers.
I am a United States Marine. I'm going to use my Marine Corps training, my Marine Corps attitude, my Marine Corps whittling skills to be the best city councilman we have.
Mr. Button.
Why couldn't the PA go out there?
He could go national with these kind of talks. Okay, Mr. Button, your favorite song?
My favorite song? Oh goodness, that's an actual tough one.
Well, we can make it your favorite TV show if you prefer.
I've always been partial to the Beach Boys. I grew up in Oregon, and so always wanted to have that sunshine. So there are several different Beach Boys songs, but we'll go with California Girls. How about that?
There you go. Okay. I guess we'll start with Mr. Overfield. This is your closing statement, please.
Okay, my closing statement. Thank you. Well, November 6th is coming up very soon, and each one of you are going to get a say-so who you get to vote for. There are some really great candidates running for the Corona City Council. I got to admit that myself. We agree on quite a few issues, and it's going to be a tough question, thing for you to, who are you going to vote for City Council? But one of the reasons why I believe I am qualified is because I'm going to bring jobs to Corona, and I'm going to make it as a simple answer. One is the zoning law, making friendlier for businesses. Two is making business fees a little bit lower for licenses. And of course, getting that center, that community center, rolling, and also using it as a youth center as well. So I hope you all vote for me in November 6th. And one of my campaign slogan is this: building a better tomorrow, start today. What that means is, whatever we do right now can build a better tomorrow. And each one of you can be involved by getting involved in your community, building that better tomorrow, starting today.
Thank you. Mr. Haley.
I made some notes. We've heard a lot here tonight, haven't we? There's some promises were made, some dreams were shared. But I told you what I've done. I want to go to you. What I've done, and I'm really, really proud of my services to Corona. I've proven to you that over the past 10 years, I've served as your city treasurer. I saved you $4 million, as well as increasing the assets of the city. I've done a good job, and I've done it with the old tried and true method. The methods work. We're in a tough financial situation. We already know that. We have to continue moving forward. We don't need anything new. We need the old tried and true because, quite frankly, it works. It works. I'm the only candidate that's built a successful business. We have 6 candidates. I'm the only one that built a successful business. I'm going to take that business experience to the city council. I'm the one who knows how to let people go when business is bad. I know what it's like to make a payroll. Also know what it's like to work 7 days a week if I have to. I'm also the only candidate who has the time, and I think this is most important. I've got the time to be a full-time city council person. I don't have another job that I get paid for. I can be here working full-time. When you see a person who was the mayor, was a city council person, is the mayor, is a city council person, ask him really and truly, what does it take? Can you do this thing 10 hours a week? No, you can't. You have to meet with staff, and you have to meet with staff during the day. Now here's my question. If you've got an income-producing job, and you have to go to a meeting, where are your responsibilities going to lie? What are you going to do? Are you going to take time away from here to go here? I'm the gentleman that has the time, the energy, and the passion to make these meetings because I am a retired person. Furthermore, and this is most important, I'm going to be an advocate for the citizens of Corona and the businesses of Corona. It hasn't come up tonight, but we've got that 91 freeway coming through the city of Corona, don't we? RCTC is responsible with Caltrans to build this thing. And like I said earlier, not everything goes the way it's supposed to go, the way it's supposed to be planned. If there's a conflict between RCTC and the citizens and a business person here in Corona, and I'm on the city council, there'll be no agenda problems because I'll be working for the city of Corona. I will never have to recuse myself whenever there's an RCTC matter. It's a fact. I will always be able to be working for you, the citizens of Corona. I've proven that I can work with the city staff. I've proven that I can work with you. I've proven to you that I'm going to be open in Corona. Trust, like we mentioned earlier, most of you know me. I've never violated your trust, and I'm not going to now. Just not going to do that. Corona's my life. Vote for Corona. Vote for Dick Haley.
Mr. Button.
On November 6th, you get to make a choice for the city of Corona. It's important that you make that choice. It's important that you get out there and complete your civic duty. As I tell my students, you need to get out and vote. That's the most basic part of your civic duties, get out and vote. Please go out and vote on November 6th, but make sure you choose the right candidate. Make sure you choose somebody that's going to have business experience. Okay, I have many different perspectives and have been engaged in many different activities in my years. Okay, I've grown up in a small business with my father. Okay, helped to run that. Went on to college. Went on to manage Kmart stores. I know how to fire. I know how to hire. I know how to keep jobs. I know what it is to raise revenues. I know what it is to deal with expenditures. I've taken that experience and I've gone into education, a different perspective. Okay, I've learned how to teach. I've learned how to mold minds. I've learned how to deal with youth. I've learned what the youth are looking for. I would like to be able to take these different perspectives, these different areas of leadership that I've worked in, and I would like to gain your trust to bring that leadership to the city of Corona. I would like to be able to help to build a business community in this city, to build a strong business community, so that we can then build a strong community, have a better park system, a better place for youths to be, a better quality of life for our citizens. I'd also like to build a strong business community and a strong revenue stream, not only for a strong community, but also so that we can maintain a strong public safety. We need to have fresh drinking water. We need to be able to have nice roads that don't have potholes. We need to be able to know that our kids can walk on the sidewalks. We need to know that our trees are going to be trimmed. And we need to know that we have a future here in Corona, and you need somebody that is going to work hard. Okay? It's important that you have somebody that's a different perspective, that has youth out there in the city, that has a family, okay, that not only can maintain a job and maintain those responsibilities, but they can also listen to you and take on those responsibilities and complete the tasks of managing and being a leader for the city. Okay, it's important that you make that choice on November 6th, and make that choice and push the button on November 6th. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We want to make a couple thank yous here. We want to thank the gentleman for being here. We want to thank him very much. We all go away having learned things that we didn't know before, and you all have interesting opinions. We want to thank the Corona Norco Unified School District and Lee Pollard High School, who gave us this venue and were so generous with their time and opportunities for us. I want to thank Jeff and Rachel, who have done yeoman's work putting this little experiment in, my daddy has a barn, let's put on a show. So this has been a real interesting experience for all of us. I want to thank Tina Hunt, because we've been filmed tonight. You're going to be on Channel 29, is that correct?
Correct.
Tuesday-ish?
Tuesday.
Very good. And Joe, last name?
Scarafoni.
Thank you.
Hemet TV.
Hemet TV is going to be there, and we'll also link it up. Selenite IEL will link it up.
YouTube.com/Hemet TV.
There we go. You're going to be on YouTube. You're going to be everywhere. You're going to be able to see this, play it again. They're going to edit it out to show their very best moments, and I would do the same thing. Running for office is a marathon, both physically and mentally. And if you're having a baby, it's probably even more tiring sometimes. And we want to acknowledge Aaron tonight. The time and effort that you, gentlemen, and your families and your supporters have put in is visible to everyone here tonight. And you did your job. You showed up and participated. You'll make a better decision on election day because you did this. And you'll be able to help friends and neighbors to make better decisions. It's entirely about your judgment. That is all it ever has been. Winston Churchill said that democracy was the absolute worst form of government of all, except for all the other ones. And that's what we have. We have the very worst form of government, except for all the others. We still get to make choices. And if we tell them what we want, you'd be surprised how often you're going to get what you want if you tell them. I spoke to somebody in the city recently who said to me, we rarely get feedback. You don't pick up the phone. Don't go to their email. Don't pester them. Why are you doing this? You may not get the answer you like, but you will get an answer, and you will be a participant. And if enough of you do it, you know, you can have what you want. Thank you for attending. The biggest thanks go to you. You took time out of your life, and you missed all your TV shows and the World Series. Thank you very, very much. We'll be back next week.